Yes, yes, yes. It's evening already. It's after 5 o'clock. It's about 5 o'clock now. Yes, I'm trying to pin my special guest today. So I'll be with you in a second. I'm just trying to pin so people can know who my guest is. Okay. That is it. So I have a special guest today, and is no other than Senator Teslim Folarin, Oloye, the Oloye of Ibadan himself. So I'm inviting him in now, and in a moment, we should be able to engage him. No, I was doing the pinning on my Facebook, so I'm also live on Facebook. Oh, my boss for life, Uncle Mike. I hope the internet, okay, it's connecting now. Oloye, can you hear me?
I can hear you faintly.
Okay, I need you to bring the camera closer to your face. The phone, if you could bring the camera, yes, please.
Okay.
The internet is a bit cloudy. I don't know why. Okay, we can manage it this way. Yes. Good evening, Senator Teslim Folarin. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. I'm okay. I'm good.
And
I
you?
know you.
I'm okay. I'm okay, but it's a very, very, very tough period in our dear beloved country. So I know how you must feel at this time, and that is why I invited you on this program. And I want to thank you that within a few minutes you were able to confirm that you will be able to talk to me. Sorry about what happened in Ibadan yesterday. I know
it's okay. It's one of those things.
Yes, but I want you to tell us about it. Okay, could you tell us about your senatorial district in Ibadan, please?
Yeah, I represent Oyo Central. The three senatorial district. I represent Oyo Central. That comprises 11 local governments. 4 in Oyo, 2 in Ogbomoso, and then the remaining in Ibadan.
Oh, that must be a big senatorial district. That must be one of the biggest.
11 local governments.
Wow. So what exactly happened in Ibadan yesterday? We saw some people, like a mob, breaking into your premises in your home and cutting away brand new motorcycles. I heard you had grinders, pepper grinders, ogi grinders, and everything. And people are saying, so what is he doing with so many, motorcycles? And I could see they were jubilating. They were happy that they had, hey, this is our own palliative, but we are not sharing rice in Ibadan. We are sharing motorbikes, brand new. So if some people were tearing the rubber, as they were going. What happened?
No. So let me first explain the reasons for us having such large items in my house, my residence. Once in a year, we do empowerment for the people, because I always believe that for whom much is given, much is expected. And so what I do is I get in contact with a lot of my friends in the corporate world, doing their private businesses, and I say to them, look, we want to do this empowerment in December. Don't give me cash. We don't want cash. So I list the items: motorcycle, deep freezer, grinding machine, all sorts. And so I give it to them. Some will buy 10, some will buy 20, some will buy 5. I also buy some with my own money. And that's why that's why we had so much. So it was meant for empowerment in December. And so I got a call. I'm in Abuja. I got a call that some hoodlums were trying to break into my house. I was totally surprised because it's a gated residence, you know. And then I also have dogs there who unfortunately they were caged at the time. And so the first thing we did was to put a call through to the police. And the police, for obvious reasons, were not interested. They were like, look, if we come to the residence and then somebody gets killed, then we run into trouble again. So we're not going to come. So we didn't get help from anybody. So anyway, the long and short, they overpowered my security guard, stormed into the residence, into the premises. And what I suspect is a lot of people were going about their businesses, and when they saw people rushing into the premises, grabbing motorcycle, grabbing generator, grabbing all sorts, everybody does, some people just went in and grabbed their own and left. Very unfortunate, but that's what happened.
So how do you feel if you bought it? Because I told some people today, I said they couldn't have been the one riding the motorbikes. You cannot ride over 200, 300 motorbikes. So it means you wanted to give it out to the same people. So you are saying they stole it in advance.
That's what it means. They were just in a rush. I wanted to give it to them. I always do that every time. You would recall that during COVID, we also did the same. I got friends to donate trailers of rice because I don't have that sort of money, but I have friends who can help. So they donated trailers of rice that we gave out to people. We always do that. And this was meant to be end of year empowerment for people because we know how difficult things are. So it was, the whole idea was to help people out. But unfortunately, they were in a hurry and then broke in and took everything. Very unfortunate.
So again, in terms of the manner people came, do you think being an inside job, maybe there is a...
But no, people say that, but I don't think so because of the way people know I'm a grassroots politician. And so when these motorcycles when they were brought in, they weren't brought in the night. They were brought in the afternoon. So people see it when they bring it, when they brought it. And every time I go to Ibadan, I'm always there with people, holding meetings and all sorts. So it's there for everyone to see. I don't think so.
Okay, but don't you think it was a mistake bringing it into your personal residence? It's like you tempted people to come there, because if people saw it in broad daylight, it's possible that they probably felt, hey, this is a freebie, let me go and grab my own, and then the opportunity presented itself.
No, I don't think so, because like I said, even when we were helping out with COVID palliatives, when I got, we were giving out rice, everything was delivered to my residence. I don't have a warehouse, so that's the only place I can keep them. No, I don't think it was a mistake. I think people just capitalized on this end SARS thing and used the opportunity to invade the house. No, I don't think it was a mistake.
Okay, let's now talk generally about the psychology of a mob. Don't you think that the politicians in Nigeria have failed woefully in doing the right things, and that is why the people are very angry? What's your take on that? People are saying the politicians have not been good to these guys. If politicians were good to them, the situation would not be this desperate. We saw people, the way they were jumping for rice, jumping for food, Indomie, everything yesterday. Yeah, and in fact, for the past few days. So don't you think they are venting their anger on our politicians?
No, you see, I don't think it's fair to blame the current crop of politicians. This has been a generational problem or issue, if you like. It's very easy to blame the guys on the scene now. But this has been a problem we've had for a long time. And to say, if you ask me the question, am I surprised this is happening? No, I'm not surprised. You always expect this to happen at some point because there's a lot of frustration in the land. There's a lot of, the system is not working. And that's the truth. The truth has to be said. The system is not working. A lot of graduates, they leave university, there's no job. They have nothing doing. There's no power, all sorts of issues. So I wouldn't, yes, we're doing our best to see how we can, make things better. But it's not as easy as that. It's been a problem that has been there. If you know what I mean.
So, sir, is it not easy? Is it not easier? Let's use the word easy now, because nothing is easy. Is it not easier if our politicians decide to make amends by making the necessary sacrifice? A lot of people have complained that the salaries you earn is atrociously high. So what makes it difficult for some politicians to come together and say, okay, hey, before these guys kill all of us, let's lose half of our pay. Let's reduce our budget. Because when you look at the budget of the National Assemblies, it's one of the highest. It must be amongst the top 7 or top 10. I don't know. Maybe you can confirm to me. But
no, it's not.
Sir.
It's not. But go on.
Yes, people are saying that your salaries, your emoluments, when you look at the total package, it runs into maybe over 30 million a year. And they say even a bank MD does not earn that, and that you must be the highest paid legislators in the entire world. So this is what is fueling the anger of the people, that, hey, here we are, even to pay our minimum wage is a problem, and yet our legislators are living large.
Should I be brutally honest with you?
Please, that's why we're talking, because you must do something about that.
No. Can I just make a point? You tell me of any legislator that you know. You tell me of one that is very rich, that left the National Assembly, and everybody say, oh, he made so much money from National Assembly. No, I think there's a lot of confusion with the salary and running cost of offices. And then also, let me make this point. If you look at the Western world, they have very good support system. Good support system. The legislators are the most accessible. People find it easy to walk into their houses. And you go into their houses, and then you go with, my wife gave birth. My wife wants to marry. Oh, I want a car. I want this. I want that. And they have to. They bear the brunt of all this. So it's not. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
No.
I'm listening.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of confusion with the salaries and what you get to run your offices. Now, the whole National Assembly, 366 members. You had the senators, and I think it's about 125 billion. So nobody talks about the executive. Nobody talks about security allowances of governors. Nobody talks about that. All they talk about is salaries that National Assembly members give. And I ask the question, do you know of any legislator after leaving office that you can say he made money or suddenly he has now become a Dangote? The answer is no.
Is it politicians are not expected to make money from politics?
Absolutely. That's the point I'm making.
Yes, to have a business that they do. So that's why people get angry that, okay, so why don't we then ask our politicians to consider doing it part-time? When people refer to me now as a politician, I tell them I'm a part-time politician because I know I don't have the capacity, to run politics full-time. So why don't we have politicians who are ready to work part-time, especially the legislators? How many times do you sit in a year?
Can I let me make this point? See, when there are issues in society, it's very, what people do is lack on something and then, and it's understandable. It's just like this NSAS thing. But we have serious issues in this country. And for me, if I'm to be brutally honest with you, the system we're running ain't going to take us anywhere. Now, that's the truth. This one-size-fits-all policy doesn't work. It wouldn't work. You're saying, okay, we say we run it. It's called, the name of the country is the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But the truth is we don't run federalism. So until we get to the point where every state is allowed to develop at its own pace, we will continue to have these problems. You look at the constitution, things like exclusive list. These are things that you can put on the state government. For instance, resources. If you find any resources in your state, what it means is that it belongs to the federal government. The state cannot develop it. It doesn't make sense. So these are some of the issues that we need to look at. You look at
we lost your voice. I can't hear you again, please.
Can you? Okay.
Senator.
I was saying that it's when things go wrong, it's very easy for people to say, oh, NSAS, oh, it's the legislators. But the truth of the matter, look at the NSAS thing. I said to people, yes, I agree with you, police brutality. Even I get scared when I see the police, to be honest with you. But the truth of the matter is the police are part and parcel of society. You cannot have a corrupt-free police and a corrupt society. It's not possible. So we have to look at ourselves. We have to look at things holistically. It's not just the police, the civil service, everything. And I was saying, I was making the point that, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. I was make the point that the system we run in Nigeria is just, for me, it's just a waste of time. We're not going to make any progress. This one-size-fits-all policy will not work. You look at our exclusive list, and it says that if you find resources in a state, for instance, it belongs to the federal government. The resources belong to the federal government. It doesn't make sense. So every state must be allowed to operate, to grow at their own pace. If you look at America, for instance, there are some states that are known for entertainment. There are some states that are known for gambling. Some states that are known for oil and gas. Why can't we have the same in Nigeria? Why can't? So these are the issues. You look at our educational system, my brother. There appears to be a disconnect. I'm highlighting some of the problems that I think. You look at the educational system. There appears to be a disconnect between the certificates that are issued in universities or higher institutions and what happens in the real world. When I left university in 1987, the trend then was we applied for jobs, I beg to apply. Now, you now fast forward to 2020, it's the same. The jobs are not there. So it's the system that is choking things. You need to allow every state to develop at its own pace. Now, if that doesn't happen, you keep on getting NSAS, you keep on getting, the legislators, or tomorrow it may even be, let's blame Uncle Dele Momodu. You never can tell.
Well, do you agree with me that the legislators in Nigeria, the National Assembly in particular, that you have a public relations deficit? People don't trust our legislators. People believe that you earn too much money. People believe that you don't do enough work. You go on recesses all the time. So don't you think the time has come for you to reach out to the people? And then you are supposed to perform oversight functions. You are supposed to keep the executive in check. Rather, it's the executive that is keeping you in check. How do you deal with all these situations?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a misconception. I think the fact that we sit Tuesdays to Thursdays, but don't forget you also have a responsibility to your constituency, meaning that you have to go to your constituency or senatorial district. You're expected to go every week or every other week. Because if you don't go, then you don't know what's happening there. And all those things about, it's the executive like being in control. That's not true. We're supposed to sit 10 to 2, but we've been known to sit till 6. Honestly, sometimes 6 o'clock, depending on what the issues are. But I agree with you that there's a communication issue that we need to communicate ourselves better to members of the public so that they'll understand. But in
our records, they're open. They're open. It's there for everyone to see. That's why you know that the National Assembly gets 125 billion a year. That's why you know. There's no secrecy about it.
Wow. Well, I think there is a lot of work that must be done. Yes, we say you are lawmakers. A lot of the laws, even when you make the laws and you send to the executive, they are just kept to cool off on the shelves. So what do you think is the way forward now? Because trust me, when Showore was shouting about revolution, people said revolution can never happen in Nigeria. For me, what is happening before our very eyes is a revolution. And if a lot of people feel, especially in government, that it will go away so easily, it might not. And that's why we're having this conversation. I think the politicians must know that we're already in a state of emergency nationwide. And it's almost spiraling out of control. So what would you suggest and what do you think your plans should be at this moment?
I didn't quite, are you talking about me or politicians generally?
Generally, but yeah, the politicians, don't you think the time has come for you to change the way politics is run in Nigeria? Because trust me, whether we like it or not, politics has been extremely lucrative in Nigeria for a lot of people. Maybe not you, but a lot of people. You see somebody who had nothing yesterday gets into government, and then you see people living large. And I think the politicians are not helping themselves, because rather than be the servant of the people, they've been working like emperors and things. So people get angry. You know, in a place where people are hungry, people don't have jobs, they don't have anything, and then they see their mates who had nothing yesterday, and then suddenly it's very flamboyant. So don't you think the politicians too, they need to to lower the tempo and the temperature?
No, I agree with you that like I said, things are not working. I think what we need to do as a country, not just politicians, is to make politics unattractive. And how do we do that? That by making sure the private sector works. Because as things stand now, the private sector is almost non-existent. And even the guys thriving there depends on government. So we need to get to a stage where it would pay more to be in the private sector than in the public service. And this is the point. You know, I was making all sort of points to you about we're not running the federal system. Everybody should be allowed to run at their own pace. People talk about restructuring. You can call it whatever you want, but I think
if we manage to tinker with the legislative list, then we may begin to see some light at the end of the day. So until you make politics unattractive, then I'm afraid it's going to be difficult. I have to be honest with you.
Wow. So we're going to spend about 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes. Time moves so fast, you know. Have you reached out to your constituency and have you reached out to the elders to see what you are going to do moving forward, especially in your own area, so that these things will not occur again?
No, see, there are the genuine protesters which we all align with. We all agree with them. Unfortunately, it's been hijacked. It has been hijacked by hoodlums all over the country, and I think it's in our own interest, in everyone's interest, to preserve peace in whatever way we can. So we're talking with the state government, we're talking with elders, We're talking with security people to see how we can bring an end to all this. But I must also make the point that it's not only in Oyo State that this is happening, it's happening nationwide, which is very disturbing.
Wow. But do you think it's just about hoodlums? I don't want to agree that it's just about hoodlums. I believe politicians make use of these hoodlums to win elections. So we saw, for example, in Abuja last week, and there is ample video evidence that some people, we don't know who, brought out some hoodlums to attack the genuine protesters who were very, very, very peaceful. The attack in Lagos, nothing could be more dastardly. We also saw the hoodlums who came with cutlasses to Alausa and chasing the genuine protesters. Don't you think what happened was that politicians unleashed the lions from the zoo, brought them into town, and it then became impossible for the lions to go back to where they came from, so they pounced on the politicians?
No, I agree with you. But the point I'm making is what happened in Lekki cannot, even till today, I still find it very shocking. Very, very shocking. It's unacceptable. But the point is this, sir. We must have a system that eliminates these hoodlums. You speak to some of these so-called hoodlums, they tell you they have a master's degree. But the truth of the matter is, even if you go to all the schools, you get all the degrees and you have nothing to do, you're going to turn into a hoodlum. So that's the point I'm making. The society must create opportunities for them. So if somebody has a job, you have a job to do, you have your own businesses, and that's the challenge for us, to make sure that the curriculum is redefined in such a manner that would encourage new graduates to go into businesses of their own. And when I say go to new business of their own, the state must also support them. You must support them. So if you do all this, then you eliminate all these people who call themselves hoodlums. But unfortunately, for now, they're there. And they're going to be used. You go there, give them money, and you say, you go and disrupt proceedings here. They'll do it. It's very unfortunate.
Well, Oloye, I know you very well. We've come a long way together, and I know you to be a gentleman. Would you be willing and ready to champion a cause for reducing the remuneration of our legislators? Would you champion it? Would you be ready to lose a substantial part of your income?
If it's the wish, it's not just about me. You have to talk.
No, I said, would you champion it? No, I'm not the others.
No. When you say
friends there, but you are my friend, your brother.
When you say champion, that is an assumption that should I say guilt, which I'm not admitting to.
No, I'm not saying you should admit. I'm saying, would you be willing? I mean, I don't earn any money from politics, but I've decided that I'm going to reduce my big tummy by reducing how many times I eat and the amount of food intake, so that I can give palliatives to people every day. Go and check. Every day I'm giving 5,000, even if it's to 10 people a day, that's 50,000. I'm doing that on my own. I'm not a politician. So why can't I
think let me put it the other way around. I think what you should be saying, or what I expect you to say, or what you're trying to say is, politicians should also do more in helping out.
No, it's more than helping out. No, people are not looking for handouts. The Nigerians of today want politicians to show good example and good conscience by saying, hey, across board, our operational costs, trust me, we kill Nigeria. If we continue, what we are running now is a capitalist system. And that capital, you cannot run capitalism without capital. I say that all the time. So operational cost is Nigeria. If Nigeria does not kill it, it will kill Nigeria eventually.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I agree with you.
So I'm just an advice. It's just an advice.
What you're saying.
Look, let me tell you, psychologically, people have made up their minds that you are earning too much. So What does it take? Why is it difficult? If, for example, you do an election, if you don't win, you are still going to survive. So now that you've won, all you need to do is to agree that, hey, our budget next year, and God so good, I'm sure you still have time now to adjust your budget before next year's budget. So let's agree that apart from maybe official costs and things like that, but the personal earnings of our politicians would have to go down drastically. Trust
I
me,
agree with you. I agree with you because
I'm
a
sure
system. No, I agree with you because what you're saying is what you're saying in essence is this. It's very simple. That a system where recurrent budget is more than capital, then nothing is going to work. I agree with you. We've always made this point. Yeah, absolutely. We need. I agree with you. Absolutely. You can't. The recurrent has to be brought down. The cost of governance has to be brought down. I agree with you. But when I say brought down, it's not on the part of the legislature only. Right across the board. It has to be done right across the board.
I agree. I'm not saying just the legislators, even the office of the president.
Yes.
We've been talking about presidential jet for years, and we've done nothing about it. Even this cost of saying you are feeding the Aso Rock is 1 billion, 2 billion, 10 billion. Even if you kill 10 cows a day, you cannot spend billions on food to feed. And anybody who knows, Mr. President knows that the man does not look like somebody who eats too much. You understand? So let them reduce these things across board. Let them sell off the unnecessary, all those presidential jets. If possible, provide more jobs for Arik Air or Air Peace, and then make sure that only the president and maybe the vice president would have access to presidential jets. All the other 10 or 11 sell it off, and then you will see that things will begin to come down. You must
I agree with you.
So I should expect you that you will champion. Would you announce? When would you announce that you are ready?
No. I promise you, we will champion. We will look at the cost of governance. We have to. We have to. I promise you, we will look at that. And I'm sure when next we speak, I'll be in a position to say this is what we've done.
Nigerians will be very grateful if it can be done. That is the first layer of this thing. The struggle right now is that we must bring down the operational cost. If you don't do it, well, it's our country. Whatever happens to us, then we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you, if I tell you that I was not scared by what I saw in the last few days, but I still see that a lot of politicians I've spoken to, they think, oh, don't worry, it will blow over in 1 week. Okay? But I'm happy that you are my friend, you are my brother, and I'm sorry about what happened yesterday because I know you are a good man. You've been very good to your people, and your people, even if they acted the way you didn't expect, I spoke to you and I can see you are not bitter. So God bless you. God bless you, Oloye. Keep doing your best and greet my sister. You know, so she's our PR manager. She did extremely well today putting this thing together. So I'm so grateful to Angie Mama. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
And you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Dear viewers, I'll be back at 8 o'clock with Senator Florence Itagiwa. 8 o'clock on the dot. I'll be engaging Senator Florence Itagiwa. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed what we have to offer. God bless you all. See you at 8. Bye-bye. Yes, Akishiku of Lagos. Olórí Ẹ̀yọ̀ èèyàn mi ṣẹ̀wà. Ẹ kú gbogbo ẹ̀ o. Ọlọ́run á gbà wá ń bẹ̀. Ọlọ́run á gbà wá ń bẹ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. God bless you.